The countdown is climbing, and the list is getting meaner. These are the Special Forces units ranked 90th through 81st in the world in 2026. Still outside the top 80, but already dangerous enough to make the global board. This is the Battleborn Combat Effectiveness Index. If you missed Episode 1, this ranking is built around combat effectiveness, specialization, mission profile, training reputation, strategic value, and real-world credibility. And now we move into the next 10, where jungle warfare, maritime assault, and joint special operations start hitting a lot harder. At number 90, the 1st Scout Ranger Regiment of the Philippines. This unit built its reputation in jungle warfare, counter-insurgency, long-range patrolling, and small unit combat against insurgent and militant forces. Its identity is rooted in rough terrain, aggressive fieldcraft, and real operational use over decades. This is the kind of unit that earns respect the hard tropical way, through mud, tracking, and close-range violence. At number 89, Spain's Fuerza de Guerra Naval Especial, or FGNE. This is the Spanish Navy's special naval warfare force built for maritime assault, shipboarding, littoral special operations, and amphibious reconnaissance. It exists in that dangerous overlap where sea, land, and direct action all collide. FGNE ranks here because a real maritime special operations unit is more than a boarding team. It is a naval strike tool with precision. At number 88, Portugal's DAE, Destacamento de Ações Especiais. This is the Portuguese Navy's elite Special Operations Detachment, designed to operate from sea, air and land across a broad spectrum of high-risk missions. Its profile is maritime, but its use is wider than that. Covert action, assault capability and expeditionary flexibility all sit inside the package. Portugal may not be the loudest country on this board, but DAE is a very sharp edge. At number 87, Brazil's Comandos Anfibios, or COMA-NF. This amphibious commando force sits inside the Brazilian Marine Corps and is built for naval raiding, amphibious assault, and special operations in coastal and riverine environments. Given Brazil's size, coastline, and internal geography, this is not a symbolic force. It fills a very real strategic role. They rank here because when land and water merge into chaos, amphibious commandos become very useful men to have around. Subscribe now if you want the full countdown, because the deeper we go, the more serious these units get. At number 86, the Argentine Buzos Tácticos. This is one of Argentina's naval special operations forces with roots in combat diving, maritime assault, reconnaissance, and amphibious special missions. It is a long-standing capability, not a brand-new prestige project, and it reflects the Navy's need for elite operators who can move through water and hit with precision. Basically, this is Argentina's old-school maritime ghost force. At number 85, Argentina's 601 Commando Company. This unit is part of the country's Army Special Operations lineage and is associated with reconnaissance, raiding, and elite small unit combat. Its wartime reputation was shaped in part by service during the Falklands-Malvinas conflict, which gave it historical weight beyond just internal status. It ranks here because some units stay relevant not by being flashy, but by having real lineage and real teeth. At number 84, Peru's 1st Special Forces Brigade. This is a land-focused elite formation shaped by Peru's mountain and jungle terrain, where mobility, endurance, and adaptability matter more than appearances. Public detail may be lighter than for more famous Western units, but the operational logic is obvious. Peru needs forces that can move and fight in hard environments fast. That keeps this brigade relevant and dangerous, even without a giant global spotlight. At number 83, Colombia's Lancero Corps. The Lancero tradition is one of the most respected elite combat pipelines in Latin America, associated with hard small unit conditioning, jungle warfare, and leadership under severe stress. It is less about flashy mystique and more about creating dangerous men who can function in brutal rural and jungle environments. Colombia's long internal wars forged this tradition the hard way, and that is exactly why it matters. At number 82, Peru's FOEs, Fuerza de Operaciones Especiales. This is the Peruvian Navy's elite special operations force, trained for maritime assault, reconnaissance, hostage rescue, and broader high-risk missions on land and sea. That flexibility is what makes foes stand out. It is not just a water unit, but a national mission tool with real versatility. Peru may not dominate headlines, but FOES is a serious regional operator unit. At number 81, Colombia's CCOEs, Comando Conjunto de Operaciones Especiales. This is not just a tactical unit, but a joint special operations command built to plan, synchronize and execute special missions across the Colombian military. That matters because Colombia's special operations culture was forged in long, difficult campaigns against insurgents and narcotics networks in rough terrain. CCOEs closes this episode because once you start getting into joint-level special operations systems with real combat pedigree, the board gets a lot more dangerous. So that was units ranked at 90th through 81st, the 1st Scout Ranger Regiment, Spain's FGNE, Portugal's DAA, Brazil's Comanf, Argentina's Buzos Tácticos, Argentina's 601 Commando Company, Peru's 1st Special Forces Brigade, Colombia's Lancero Corps, Peru's FOEs and Colombia's CCOEs. And now you can feel the board changing. These are no longer just regional specialists. They are increasingly hardened, mission-specific, and strategically sharp formations. In Episode 3, we move into units ranked at 80th through 71st, where the countdown gets even nastier. That next block includes China's Jiaolong Assault Team, Pakistan's SSG-N, Iraq's Golden Division, Jordan's Royal Special Forces, ISOF, the UAE Presidential Guard, and the Royal Marine Commandos. That is where this list starts carrying some very real heat. Drop your pick for the most underrated unit in this episode and tell me who you think should have ranked higher. Thanks for watching. It really helps out when you like and subscribe. Subscribe for the full Top 100 countdown. This is Battleborn history, and the board keeps climbing. The formula was developed 2 years ago with Battleborn history and ChatGPT. These units and rankings are updated throughout the year and kept in a database for future rankings.